Well, hello, Shamita. How you doing?
Oh, hello. I
Hi,
am
everybody.
good.
I didn't even let you answer how you're doing. I'm very rude. I'm sorry.
That's because you just asked me 2 minutes ago.
Well, that is true. I did ask you 2 minutes ago. We were just talking.
I'm good.
Good. Let's see who all is in chat. Ugh, I forgot I don't have premium on this account, and I went ahead and monetized this. All right. Hello, Lupe. Hello, Ali79. Okay. I'm glad that you asked me that because guess what? I didn't watch her testimony. So
You
it's
didn't
gonna
watch it yet?
not yet, no, because I knew we were gonna do this and I was saving it for you guys. That's how much I
Perfect.
care. Yeah. I know. Hi, Team Psych Ward. Hey, Molson man. I know everybody thinks I'm a monster and I don't have any feels, but I do. Not a lot of feels, but caring about other people is one of them. Some
I
people.
think I think you're gonna like this because she doesn't give me NK vibes, but she gives me what is I can't think of the word, but the
Describe it
way
to
that
me.
people want to know more about NK
Mhm.
and
Oh,
just
she's
I don't know,
aloof.
she just kind of gives me that vibe. Like
Like she
she,
like aloof, like a little bit of a mystery, like she only answers the
yeah,
question that's asked and doesn't give additional details like that.
yeah, pretty much something like that. She leaves you wanting more.
Oh,
Hmm.
I'm
That's
kind of
me, anyways.
excited. I'm kind of excited. Well, I've heard a lot of talk. Hi, Faraway Eyes. How are you? Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for being here tonight. I know that you could be other places listening to other things, but you chose to be here with us. And Shmita and I thank you. We all thank
Yes.
you. Okay. So, um, should we just get into it? Or should we give
Yeah.
people a little bit more time since we've only been live for like 3 minutes? I
Whatever,
don't know.
whatever you want to do. I sent you the link, right?
Yeah, I have it. I'm all ready to go. And this time,
Perfect.
y'all are going to be so proud of me. All right. Hi, Amelia. How are you? I remember you have to add it to the stream. So we're
Ooh.
not going to be like, why is it not showing? What's happening? No, I got it figured out now. I'm on it. All right. So I'm going to play our little opening and then we're just going to get into it because I think it's like, let me look at it real quick before I say. Yeah, it's over an hour. So by the time we play it and we talk about it and all these things, and that'll be a
Yeah.
good amount
We
of a
can speed
time
it
for
up
a
a little
live.
bit too.
Oh, we can?
Yeah.
Okay. Like 1.5 times, you think, or what?
Sure. We'll just
Okay.
play it by.
We'll just play it and then we'll see how it goes. How about that?
I don't plan
Oh,
stuff like that. I just click it and it's like, a little too fast. Slow down.
I
A little too
forgot to
slow.
ask everybody who did their homework assignment from last night and worked noon 30 into everyday conversation today. I must admit, I did not. I forgot because I am horrible.
I I don't think I did.
Well, okay. In my defense, I've been working on the Pamela Smart video that for the whatever happened to Wednesdays. Okay. But then I started thinking, how are we going to talk about this and not talk about Wednesday? And the only reason why I had pause is because, we did the whole like week, the first week of the testimony and all that Saturday, right? And then we were supposed to do the interrogation. But any bottom line is we are behind, right? But today's, by we, I mean me. mainly me. I'm behind. But then tomorrow is Wednesday, obviously, right? But today's testimony was all the forensics, and y'all know that's my jam. So I was thinking, okay, the prosecutor said that this trial is going to be like 2 to 3 weeks. So if we go over the testimony like we're doing, right? No, Amelia, are you kidding me? He does not either. How long are they putting the trial off? All right. So, anyways, we have stuff to cover, anyways, even if he's like whatever rude. Okay, so then I'll just
Put him in
whenever
box somewhere.
right, yeah, just put it. Don't they have a plexiglass box they can just roll him into like Hannibal Lecter. Okay, so we're going to be down a week. So no trial tomorrow. That's okay cuz we got other stuff we can cover tomorrow for the trial, and then whenever we run out of stuff for the trial, then I'll just in the interim I'll do some West Memphis 3 and I'll do the whatever happened to Wednesdays cuz I was going over my notes and thinking about things in the West Memphis 3 case, and there are some people in that case that are part of episodes that I've already talked about, but I want to talk about them like a little deeper.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like
So,
the expert testimonies that went on today,
yes.
probably like to talk about them in a little bit deeper. So we
Yes.
might just split those.
Yeah, so we have plenty of material. So that
Because
means
I caught some of it and it's very interesting. Like,
yeah,
just,
I caught
I don't
who
know.
did I catch today? The um the lady that was testifying that she's the one that did the DNA testing itself.
Oh, okay.
I caught her, and I caught a little bit of the testimony before that. But then you know me, y'all, I just be getting distracted sometimes, and so yeah, so that's what we'll do for the rest of the week. There's a lot of forensics to get into, and I did see today that one of the things they played was video footage from I'm guessing one of the neighbors across the street. I know one of them had like prison prison grade security system, and they showed that that today, but it was focused on the fireplace. Well, specific, not the fireplace, but the chimney outside, and
Hmm.
how long it was going. So yeah.
That's what they were showing whenever I was watching it too. It was like, see how the paint's all bubbled here, and like they were getting right into it with like the different type of ash, and like it was pretty intense.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about that because that's my favorite stuff. So, all right, I'm going to play our little opening, and then we'll just get into it. All right, ready?
Perfect.
Here we go. All right, so that's that.
Love it. Good
Thank you,
job.
thank you, thank you. I mean, all I did, I mean, I already made it. I just been moving stuff around on the different days. Thank you, Molson, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let me remove this from the studio because we don't need it anymore. Let me make it bigger. Oh wait, I need to make sure hold on a second. I don't remember if I hit to share audio. Sometimes I forget that. Let me try this again.
Take it.
Hold on. Let me check this audio, make sure it's okay.
Thank you. Good morning. Well, good afternoon. Sorry. Ms. Mellander, first, let me ask you, because I was preoccupied, I didn't hear. Did you verbally answer yes to the oath?
Yes.
Thank you. Secondly, are you in a position where you believe you can safely and responsibly testify without wearing a mask?
No.
You need to wear your mask in order to believe you can protect yourself from the virus and
Yes.
safety concerns. All right, then I won't force you to take off your mask if you believe that is true.
Thank you.
All right.
You work in the healthcare field, do you not?
I do.
Okay.
Could you please state and spell your name for us?
Cathryn Mellander.
Okay, before we get into this, I got one thing I want to say real quick that has really nothing to do with anything important, but it's just bothersome to me. I don't know if you guys have noticed when people are testifying and who exactly is doing the testifying, but the majority of the people that have testified that are in some way, shape, or form, including the a medical examiner who performed the autopsies today, they're in the medical field in one capacity or another, all want to keep their masks on while testifying. I just thought that was interesting. Okay, that's got nothing to do with anything. Just thought it was interesting. I'm really going to push play now and not interrupt.
Cathryn Mellander, Mellender.
And ask you to grab the base of the microphone and pull it really close because the fans are on. That creates a level of noise. Your voice is on the softer side and you have a mask. So
Okay.
being up really close to it will make sure we can all hear. Thank you. All right.
You go by Kat, correct?
Correct.
Can I call you Kat today?
Yes, please.
Okay. Kat, how old are you?
I'm 21 years of age.
And do you
wow.
live here in the Madison area?
I do live in the Madison area.
Okay. And do you know someone named Chandler Halderson?
I do.
How do you know Chandler?
We were in a relationship.
Okay. At this point, something's going to happen. The judge is going to ask everyone out here to lower their mask, and I'm going to ask you if you see Chandler in the courtroom. It's one of the strange things we're going to do. So the judge will go.
Don't say anything until everybody has remasked. If everyone can lower their masks for count of 3, 1, everybody within the courtroom, except in the jury box, 1, 2, 3, replace your masks.
Is Chandler in the room here today?
Yes.
Can you tell me where he's sitting and describe what he's wearing?
He's over there with a blue tie and a blazer.
I'd ask the record to reflect the identification of the defendant.
It shall. Thank you.
When did you first begin your relationship with Chandler?
In August 2019.
And how did you meet?
We met through a friend.
What was Chandler, what was going on in his life when you first met? What was he doing with his life?
He was attending college. He was living at home and preparing to move into an apartment. Dog sitting quite often.
And where were you in life? What were you up to when you first met back in 2019?
When I first met Chandler, I was going to school as well, part of Student Senate, doing shows in the theater department.
What types of things did you and Chandler do in your relationship? Did you go on a lot of dates together?
Yeah, we would grab dinners, have movie dates, just sit at home and watch movies,
Watch Netflix originals,
go on walks quite often,
sleep in couch forts,
play with the dogs. That was a big thing. We loved playing Frisbee with the dogs. Start shows together.
Lone Swiffer wedgettes, 5 bottles of hydrogen peroxide.
Around 2019 and 2020, and then obviously into this year a little bit, or the last year, 2021. How would you and Chandler communicate with each other? Just by calling each other, or were there other things too?
We would talk on Snapchat, text, FaceTime, and call quite often.
How
Would
come
you
if you
also,
have if you're the
so it's
boyfriend,
text, Snapchat, call, FaceTime?
why wouldn't you just
Well, sometimes you
text? Why
start
you got to talk
communicating
on
about
the
a subject on one
Snapchats?
and then
That's
switch
too
to
much.
another and then switch back.
Yes.
Fair
Yeah,
to say,
Lupe.
you communicated,
The
or you
Apocalypse
texted a lot
Show.
with Chandler.
Yes.
And
Yeah. Long
you've
walks
seen in this
on the
case,
farm,
probably at some
disposing of
point
body
printouts of
parts,
even
you
just a
know,
couple of days of your
those
text
things.
messages, which are hundreds of pages long, right?
having
Yes.
lunch dates at noon 30.
Did you have any sort of relationship with Chandler's family?
Yes.
Let's start with his brother, Mitchell. Did you know Mitchell?
I did know Mitchell.
Tell me about your relationship with Mitchell.
I would hang out with him at the family events, be it like a dinner or for the holidays. We had a game night at his home once with Caitlin and Chandler and myself. Usually see him during family events.
What about, let's start with Bart. Did you have a relationship, or how did you know Bart Halderson?
I knew Mr. Halderson through Chandler. I would be at their home quite often, and he would
Oh, don't cry.
he would show me fishing tips, or if I was cooking, him and Mrs. Halderson would be in the kitchen, and we would have game nights quite often. And we would also play Mario Kart together a lot.
Oh, Mario Kart. I love Mario Kart.
I have energy.
Yes, Allie, that would be fun. Well, good thing. I will say this
What
on the
about Krista?
positive
Can you tell me
note.
about your
She
relationship
knows
with
the
Krista
difference
Halderson?
between water and hand sanitizer.
Mrs. Halderson and I, we would text often about what we're doing in our lives and talk about the dogs and Chandler, and like we would talk about
Wait, what, Molson Man? Did they say anything about Caitlin? Why did that? Oops. wrong
Yeah,
one.
that's the brother. I think it's the brother.
Oh, yeah, that's the brother's girlfriend. Yeah, Caitlin is Mitchell's. I'm sorry, fiance. They are fiancés now.
Oh,
They're
yes.
engaged. You know that's important because he's the way he said it in court when he testified was like, I better not forget to say fiance. I better say fiance. Yeah, fiance. That's his fiance. Y'all remember that Seinfeld episode? I've lost my fiance. I can't find my fiance. And then Elaine goes, the dingo ate my baby. So funny. I miss Seinfeld. That's how she said it.
recipes and food
Oh,
I wanted
boy.
to try, and if I was cooking them something from my culture, she would always be excited, and we talk about it and always talk about game nights and wanting to do a girls trip to Disneyland together with her, I, and Caitlin.
You texted often with Miss.
I have questions.
Yes, I did.
Positive
I'll
relationship, a good
wait.
relationship.
Yeah,
Did you like her?
I did like Miss Halderson a lot.
Did you like Mr. Halderson?
Yes, I did.
Were you over at the Halderson home quite a bit?
Very often, yes.
And that's over in Windsor, Oak Springs Circle?
Yes.
I'm going to object to leading. I'm sorry, I didn't use my phone.
That's fine. I'll sure. Whereabouts?
Leading questions.
We'll withdraw the question and I'll ask it again. Whereabouts did the
It was
Haldersons live?
leading.
They lived in Windsor. past that big church. I don't know the road of it, but it was past a big church right by a pond.
When you were over at the house, did you mostly stick in one spot, or did you kind of treat it like your own home, go wherever you needed to go?
I would go wherever I needed to go within reason.
Back in June of this year, just before maybe everything that we're going to talk about happened, were you over at the Halderson home and had an occasion to maybe go in the basement?
Leading.
Yes.
That's
why
leading.
did you
Why
go in the
did you
basement
not
while you were over there?
object? That was leading.
I went into the basement to grab ice cream and soda to make root beer floats with Mr. and Mrs. Halderson and Chandler.
And this is sometime in, when is it?
June.
And why were you going to the basement to grab those items? Where were they? They were in the basement?
They were in the basement in the freezer.
Okay. The Haldersons had a freezer in the basement?
Two.
Oh my goodness.
He is leading. It's his witness. He
Go
can't
ahead
do
and
that.
Phrase carefully.
Tell me about what freezers the Haldersons had.
They had a chest freezer and then a tall one, kind of like a fridge, but it was just a freezer.
And did you have an occasion ever to go in the chest freezer?
Yes.
And what types of things were in there?
Mostly fish, specifically salmon, veggies.
Not shrimp.
Sometimes they'd keep ice bags in there.
Was it full?
Yes.
The other freezer, did you have occasions to go in that on occasion?
Just once.
Okay. And was it being used in full?
Yes.
Is there a screen on in front of you right now?
Yes.
Oh, thank
Show
you,
you Exhibit 21
Dan.
been received into evidence in this case.
Thank you so much.
I think we went too far, Judge.
What are we taking a
There's happy
nap?
medium there.
Is it nap time now? We're really dimming the lights. Yikes. Oh. While we wait, I kind of want to know what her position is on the blue shell that they give you in Mario Kart, that if you're in last place, you can throw and it blows everybody
There we
up.
go.
I find that to be cheating,
There's a little
but
bit of a glare on that, but is
I'm
that,
curious what she
looked to
feels
be the
about
Haldersons'
that.
basement or something else?
Yes, it's the Halderson.
The important question.
And
That's an
that chest
important
freezer
question for
that's
me.
open right there, is that the chest freezer that you had been in previously?
Yes.
And was it full when you saw it in June?
Yes.
Was it sitting like that open when you saw it last?
No.
Was
Hold
it
on,
in
I'm
that
going to
general
pause this
location?
real quick because I just want to address this comment right here. Okay, I don't want to, everybody's relationship is their relationship. I've been with my husband for, Hallie, am I at 20, is it 27 years this year in April? Yes, this year's 27, last year was 26. Do you know what I tell him on Facebook? I love your guts. What else do I say? I'm glad you're still alive to annoy me. Things like that. Not mushy things, normal things. Not, I love you so much. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. None of that crap. That's how you keep a relationship going.
No, and if they have a joint account, screwed.
Then, yeah, so who cheated? One of y'all cheated. One of y'all cannot be trusted. And that's why. Yes, check out this meme. One time, you know what he did? The worst thing he ever did to me on Facebook was this. I used to play Just Dance with my girlfriend and her daughter. Our daughters were friends. That's how we met. And we ended up all hanging out as a family because we were, all the same age. So me and Christy were playing Just Dance with the girls. And do you know, this fool had the unmitigated gall to record us in secret and then post it to Facebook and proceed to tag both of us, which meant our whole Facebook
I need to see
friends
this
list.
video.
You shan't. Because that Facebook account has been deactivated. But yeah, I mean, I was doing great. We were all doing great. It's just, it's just rude. You don't do that.
My husband would not pass up an opportunity to embarrass me.
He just thinks that kind of crap is funny. It's funny when I embarrass other people. It's not funny when people try to embarrass me. I don't appreciate that. Yeah, I don't call him schmoopy or none of that crap. Maybe babe, but no schmoopy, no smush, none of that lovey-dovey girly crap.
And when you saw it last?
Yes.
In your relationship with Chandler, was there a lot of discussion about money?
Yes.
Was it important to you that whoever you were dating have a job or going to school or something?
Dating.
Yes.
Can you tell me why that would be important?
No,
Just think being self-sufficient.
I don't want no scrub. Scrub is a
either
guy that
in
can't get
school or
no love
working.
from me. That's why.
As far as you knew, in 2020 and this year, even 2021, let's say the spring of last year, was Chandler going to school?
Yes.
Did he talk about that with you?
Yes.
I'm done
What
with
did
you,
know
Allie.
about where Chandler was going to school? And what he was doing?
He was taking classes online through MITC for UW, and it was for an IT degree.
Hey, Max 2002,
Would
welcome,
Chandler
babe.
talk a lot about school with you?
Often.
What kind of things would you talk about?
When we'd have tests or homework that we were doing.
Oh, y'all did
Going
homework
into in
together?
this year, did he ever show you any sort of like work he was doing for school? Any projects, things like that
He showed me some coding he was doing once.
for a class? You said he was going online. Did Chandler ever physically go there as far as you knew? For a class?
I don't remember.
Huh.
This spring, going into the summer, prior to everything happening, did you believe Chandler was going to end?
Hang on just a second. Let's just take this in. I don't know if y'all remember from earlier episodes where that we not like we've done a ton, but earlier testimony, in fact, specifically prosecution's opening statement, they showed a picture, not just a picture, a screenshot. And what did they show a screenshot of? Juror number 2?
She's not here.
3. Sorry, juror number 3. Oops, my bad. Juror number 3. What was that screenshot of?
I don't know. You can't put me on the spot like that.
It was the Snappy Chat screenshot with his location. Remember?
Oh yeah, just
Hey,
hanging off the
Cheryl's
tree.
Joan. Not the tree, the location
Well,
one.
same.
Yeah.
Oh, the
right.
location one.
Yeah,
Yes,
remember?
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
the Snappy Chat location one, right? But this
Yeah.
girl can't remember whether this fool attended class or not. Now you have his location turned on the Snapchats, and his name in your Snapchats is saved as Hubby.
Hubby.
But you don't know if he was actually physically in class. No, ma'am. I don't believe it. Maybe you don't remember it today, but you know. All right, I'm pushing play. Strike 1.
Did you ever see his
Minus
grades? Did he ever
15
share his
points
grades
from
with you or
Hufflepuff.
transcripts or anything like that?
No, he didn't show me.
Do you know how close he was to graduating?
1 class away, I believed.
1 class away. That's not how. No, you mean how many credits?
Did you and Chandler ever
class.
talk
Even
about?
I only have my
him
good
working
enough
with the
diploma, and
police
even
at
I know
all,
that's
with
not
scuba
right.
diving or anything like that?
With the DNR.
Sure. Tell me about that.
This DNR thing.
He told
creeps
me
me
he
out.
would
I know it
scuba dive
means
for the
something
DNR
else.
and then sometimes help out the police through the DNR.
Did he say what he would do for them, like specifically?
Scuba diving, look in the lakes for stuff.
See, Molson Man knows.
Was
See,
this like
I was
a
right. Credits,
job or a
not
volunteer thing?
classes.
What was your understanding from Chandler?
I believe it was a job.
And did he have this throughout the time you were dating?
During the summer,
I feel like she's doesn't actually want to snitch on him though.
Were there ever times
Little
where Chandler
hesitancy.
would go to that job, as far as you knew, or need to schedule time to be there?
yes,
How would that come up?
he would just tell me he had to be on call days and we couldn't hang out those days, or he would only have select time to hang out or else he'd be on call.
So there'd be times you couldn't hang out because he would say he was on call.
hmm
You have
How
to
often
answer
would
out
that come
loud.
up in your relationship?
Ma'am.
I remember this part because I had to check my internet
I don't
signal.
remember.
What did he even ask
came up?
her?
It did.
Did you ever see
Because this
Chandler
is
with any
that's
sort
a
of
face
scuba
that
diving
I make when I'm having to
oxygen
do
tanks,
math
Liz?
or something
Flippers that
in my
people put on,
brain. Like
anything
I
like
need
that?
to I might be buffering or doing,
No.
you know,
Yeah.
an extraordinarily long
Did you believe
pause.
he worked at this dive team job back
Yes.
at that time?
Yes.
At some points in the past year and a half or so, did Chandler get a job with American Family Insurance?
Yes.
And what did Chandler tell you about that? Or what did you know about what he was doing?
You can't ask two questions in the same.
That it was an internship
Lord.
to help graduate.
I mean,
through
I think you
school,
can. I don't know. It
and
doesn't seem right though.
he'd be doing stuff with solar panels and laying out plans for companies, going through American Family and such.
And such.
So it was an internship. Was it eventually a job or something else? Like where he got paid?
A paid
Hey,
internship,
Sugar
I
Beat,
believe.
how you do? Wait a minute. Wait.
Did he ever show
Wait.
you any of his
Make
work
the
that he
noise,
was working
Shmita.
on?
He showed me a plan.
Hold the phone. Now, again, as I've said before, I didn't get a whole lot of after like secondary education. I didn't go to like college. All right. I went to school for medical billing and coding. All right. And all I got is my good enough diploma. However, isn't an internship, is there such thing as a paid internship? Do we know? Because that doesn't sound right to me. I thought that's an externship. When you're paid for it, it's an externship. When you're not paid, it's an internship. Who among us is smarter than obviously yours truly here and knows the answer to this? I could hit up the Googles, but I don't know.
I have no idea.
Okay, Allie
Oh.
is emphatic about this because she put an exclamation point at the end, but Molson Man says he believes I'm right, which I like Molson Man. I believe you're right, Jen. Okay. All right. Let me push play. We're going to be here all night with my
On a
ridiculous
whiteboard that he was
questions.
drawing up.
A
When you say a
whiteboard.
whiteboard, what do you mean by that?
Like a whiteboard that you hang up in your home or see in school.
Okay.
I have a
And
whiteboard
what was
above
on that
my
whiteboard
desk
that he
in
was
here.
showing you, if you remember?
A building and where they wanted to place the solar panels and how it was by a highway, so it would be a safety hazard for the direction they want to point it in because of the angle of the sun could be blinding the drivers.
Yeah, don't use your solar
Do you
panels
seem
to
excited
blind
about this
people.
project when he
That's
was talking to you about
terrible.
Yes,
it? Did Chandler have any issues with pay at American Family Insurance and getting his paychecks?
yes.
Tell me what you know about that from Chandler.
That there was something going on with who American Family would go through for payment, that the check went to the wrong address, and then it had to be canceled, and then he tried setting up for direct deposit, and something happened with that, and then the amount that they had to pay him was too much, so they didn't believe they owed some of that amount of money, and then
What?
it just wasn't getting to him.
Because of this issue or maybe
And she
others, were there
believed
times in your relationship?
Does any of this sound good or right to you guys? Like, listen,
See, I told you she makes you.
Food or something along
let me
those
just
lines.
go
Would it be
ahead and
more
we're going to
common?
take a moment here from Miss Cathryn. I don't want to be too harsh. Okay, because like, hey, true psych word, get up here. You're not late. I already called juror number 2, and then juror number 3 had to remind me that juror number 2, she's not here. But please come up. Okay. This is what I want to ask. I remember what it's like to be young. I was younger than she is now when I met my husband. I was 18 and he was 21. Okay. And I was butt crazy in love with that fool. But I'm telling y'all right now, if he came to me with some flim flam excuse like they overpaid me and now they're not so sure they owe me that much money, or I got lost in the mail, or I had difficulty set in 2021, you had difficulty setting up automatic deposit. Like, come on now. That's What say you, Shmita, juror number 3? Oh, Dr. B, juror number 2 is here. What's up?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, I just heard you. I heard the beginning of what you were saying about if your man ever told you that he was overpaid, and then it cut off for me.
Okay, so here comes Chenandler telling Cathryn over here that the first issue was that from American Family Insurance or American Family Insurance, that the issue was that they mailed it to the wrong address and then it had to be canceled. The payment had to be stopped. Then he tried to set up direct deposit, but something went wrong. And then all the things were aligned, but American Family Insurance couldn't believe that they were paying, that they owed him that much money. And so there was a dispute. And listen, I will say this, Amelia, love can make you suspend a lot of beliefs, but not about money. Maybe it's just me, but not money. Like, that doesn't even sound right. Doesn't even sound close to right. In fact, it's so far from right that the light from right would take 87 light years to reach it.
I'd be calling American Family. She
Me
would.
too. Hello.
Yes.
Yes. I would be marching down there. I need to speak to HR immediately. Ahora.
I think his
Yes,
parents
Lupe,
did buy it.
Yeah, he was fabricating emails. He was fabricating emails with like fake names, but they were all at Gmail accounts and like, you know, just weird accounts. They weren't like .edu or I don't know, Tesla dot fucking space. I don't know. Like he made them all up. And then eventually what happened is his dad called the actual school and talked to a customer service representative. And, you know, the customer service rep obviously like couldn't really confirm or deny because of privacy. But then the dad started asking about, hey, what about the people that work there? How about whatever? He started just reading off the email, like the names that were on the emails. And the customer service rep was like, yeah, no, that's not our email, nor do they exist.
So then to Polly D come on and be like, busted big time.
Yeah,
Caps
because
are
I'm
here.
pretty sure I'm pretty sure that's what that knowledge was what motivated this whole thing.
I see. I see.
Yeah,
Yikes on bikes.
definitely. Holy cow!
Holy cow!
Hmm.
You missed it. I did a good Australian accent. I was
Oh.
talking about the Seinfeld episode of, where they're at that party and the friend of Elaine's all talking about, I've lost my fiance. I can't find my fiance. And then Elaine goes, the dingo ate my baby. So funny.
As long as you don't try to say my name with that accent.
No, of
it's
course not. I'm mean. I'm not cruel.
I appreciate
I'm
that.
not a monster. All right, I'm pushing play. Here we go.
For you to pay or for him to pay, or how would that work?
For me to pay.
Yeah. Sure. 1 second. I'll tell you before. Yeah.
Wait, what's
You
that?
might not have some specific dates, and that's totally okay. But do you know approximately kind of the time period Chandler was working at American Family Insurance?
Believe January until
The 12th of never.
spring.
Kind of the same question as before with MATC and ask you about transcripts. Regarding American Family Insurance, did you ever see any documents, pay stubs, contracts, HR stuff, anything with like the logo of American Family kind of around Chandler or in his bedroom or anything like that?
I did not.
And in that time period, you were dating 2020 and 2021. While he said he had this job, did you believe he was working at American Family Insurance?
Yes, I did.
At some point going into 2021, so just last year before the summer, did it appear that Chandler had gotten a new job or was in the process of getting a new job?
Yes.
And where was that job at?
The company or the
Yeah,
location?
what was the company?
SpaceX.
Okay. So what's going to happen now is the attorneys and I are going to talk to the judge for 1 second. So some weird white noise is going to come on. Be a good
Perfect, because this is entirely too much flim flamming for me. I need to smoke while we have the white noise. You'll notice, juror number 2, that Miss Cathryn here knows the difference between a water bottle and hand sanitizer, which I'm personally glad about. I didn't want there to be no rub. That's hand sanitizer again. So there's that.
That was pretty funny. I
I just,
feel so bad for her, but
I do too. Now
I'm sure it has
trying-
like the skull and cross on it. You would.
Did she testify after her mom, or was her mom first?
Did
I
you have
feel
an
like
interview?
mom was first.
Yeah, that's what I was
Show
thinking.
you what's been marked as this case. In
And
this
that
case,
must be why they're
exhibits
explaining the rules of the court, because her mom, whenever the whole thing
for a second. and
was like, "Who? What? Huh?"
we redacted some things. We would.
What do you mean, hey?
Yeah. I did say that, didn't I, Amelia? Hand sanitizer. I can't ever say that right. Hand
Cousin.
sanitizer.
That's something you would call them.
Yes.
Okay. Are these messages with Chandler and you? It looks like back in May of this year.
Yes.
Okay. And what is the first one that Chandler says?
I have a good feeling about SpaceX.
Okay. I'll move 506 into evidence.
Any objection?
Subject to what was said on the record.
It is
They
received.
come on that screen. Okay. So we're going to talk about some of them. Just real quick, because it's the first one that we're going to do that looks like this. Your phone was taken by the police and downloaded in the course of this investigation, correct?
Correct.
But didn't Chandler tell you that you just could give him screenshots and that would suffice?
So we're going to try to get the lighting just right, and that might be the trick right there. So in the blue here, that's Chandler, correct?
Correct.
I have a good feeling about SpaceX, and if we're looking at it, the date on
Oh,
these
it's like back
messages,
to when I was a kid. There's a
there,
projector, a overhead.
one I'll read out loud just because it's a bit hard to see. We're at the 23rd of May of 2020. You say, I'm proud of you. What does Chandler say there?
Ladies, I'll be right back while we read these receipts.
Okie dokie, artichoke.
See you soon.
In general,
Okay.
Chandler got this job?
Yes.
Yeah.
He seemed excited about
Bless
it.
you, whoever sneezed.
A lot of pay.
A lot of pay. Did Chandler ever tell you how much money he'd be making at SpaceX?
Around 800,000.
800,000?
Sorry, I apologize.
What?
80,000.
8,000? Okay.
Oh wait. Whew, okay.
So you say,
You were, although 8,000 would be a jump from 0.
I'll be happy. And you respond, I'll be very happy for you too.
I am excited though to get the actual
The money you want.
discovery
the job,
files
right?
to be able to upload all this and
Correct.
clear.
Yeah, because I want to see her police interrogation where she was literally vomiting
Talked a little bit
information.
more-
Yes, SpaceX is a real thing. It's here.
You texted a lot. But you're talking about the location and the money, and Chandler says, can you read that one for us?
But I'll be happy with money.
And you say maybe they'll transfer you in a couple years. Was there any discussion about that around that time?
Yes.
And what was that discussion about? Maybe transferring or where this job was?
The job was in Florida.
And that would take you to Florida as well?
Correct.
Okay. Was it your intention to move with Chandler?
Yes.
And on May 24th, he sends you this message. What does it say?
I have a follow-up interview for Florida tomorrow.
And as that kind of approached, on the 25th now of May, you're saying, tell me, kind of in an exaggerated fashion, but just tell me what's going on.
Yes.
And what does Chandler say?
Shoot, sorry, I got the job.
And you say,
Oh,
congratulations.
sorry, I forgot.
You have a discussion about the job in general, and eventually Chandler, the same day, the 25th, what does he say to you?
I have training next week over the computer, and I leave June 11th and start on June 14th.
You and Chandler discuss, perhaps, I think you said that you were going to move with him eventually, right?
Correct.
Was it going to be right away, or were you going to wait a couple weeks?
Wait a couple weeks.
And what does Chandler text you on the 25th?
I'll come back every other weekend, hon.
And what else?
And I can send you money till your lease is up and you move in with me.
Okay. I know this is important and everything like that, but do you understand how expensive it would be to fly from where SpaceX is to Wisconsin every other weekend? You can't, I mean, you could drive, but you would spend the entire weekend driving. So that should have been a red flag right there, Miss Ma'am. That's an unrealistic expectation. All right, we can please continue. Just want to point that out.
The text messages that day end with Chandler sending you a couple messages. Can you read the first one?
If you're positive you want to be with me for the long run.
Was that in relation to you moving with him?
Yes.
And he says, what last?
Because if you're not, then I don't think you should.
Seven hours later.
Did the topic of you and Chandler moving to Florida,
Yes,
talk about
Team
a lot?
Psych Ward. Hey,
Yes.
criminality. What you doing, girl?
were
Nice to
excited
see you,
about
babe.
that?
Yes.
Did you tell your family?
Yes.
Tell your friends?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's been marked in this case. Exhibit number 507. Can you tell me what that is?
A screenshot of the SpaceX location in Florida.
And was this taken off your phone?
Yes.
Why'd you take that screenshot?
Because I'm a snoop. I mean, because I
I was
was
curious about
interested.
the location of the company.
Mhm.
What's exhibit number 508?
A screenshot from Zillow of homes in Titusville, Florida.
And it's a screenshot, but there's something else in that screenshot in the top right corner. What is that?
Chandler.
How does this happen? This is on your phone. You're taking a
Me
screenshot.
too. Me
Yes.
too.
Next time?
Yes.
And are you looking up? What are you looking up there
Homes for sale.
in Titusville, Florida?
Yes.
Let me hit
I'm
up
showing
the
from Martha's
Googles and
exhibit 509.
see where
What's that?
Titusville, Florida is from me.
A pool.
And was this another one of the homes you were looking up?
Yes.
When you took these screenshots, when you were FaceTiming with your boyfriend at the time, did you believe that you were possibly going to be moving to Florida and maybe buying a home or renting an apartment, things of that sort?
Yes.
Fair to say these homes you were looking up weren't cheap.
Oh, it's
either.
not even all that far, y'all.
Did you think
It's
you'd
just
be
across
having some money available to you?
Florida for me. It's
Yes.
on the
All right,
west
I'll move
east coast.
507, 508, 509.
2 hours.
Across Florida.
Yeah, Florida is
Not
a
that far at all.
peninsula. It's not. It's
briefly-
only. Hold on. Let me push pause.
This is exhibit number.
Florida's long, but it's not wide. You can go from my side of Florida, the west coast, all the way across the east coast in 2 hours and 32 minutes. It's 155.1 miles. It's not that far. I was curious about that.
The 507
Well,
I just showed you. This is what we were talking about.
could be
You said
farther.
that you took a screenshot of just where SpaceX was.
Yes.
Did you know prior to Chandler talking about it that they had a location in Florida?
No.
I'm up over here. Oh, well.
Exhibit number
You guys can't see that.
508. We're looking at a $699,000 home in Florida. You're kind of on the phone with Chandler. And is this what a FaceTime looks like when you're kind of browsing other apps while you're on FaceTime?
Yes.
And so is that Chandler in the top right?
Yes.
Were you talking to him about this at the time?
Yes.
I just want to answer Lupe real quick. I don't trust a channel 3000. I find that suspicious a lot because I don't know what they did with the cable companies to get channel 3000, because where I live, Spectrum, all the news channels are all together and they're like 37, 38, like that. They're all lined up, Fox, CNN, MSNBC, like that. If you're all the way in the 3000s, something ain't right. And so I refuse to watch it over there. Just letting you know. Nothing might be wrong. It could be perfectly fine, but I don't trust it.
I'm showing you exhibit 509. Here we're looking at a pool of another home. Is that Chandler in the top right?
Yes.
And same thing, you were talking to him about moving to Florida.
Yes.
What kind of conversations did you personally have?
I
Not
think
really
it's
the people said, but
intentional to make
what were
her
you
come
telling your
across as
family,
naive.
Your mom, your brother about the plan.
Chandler would move down to Florida and start working. I would go at the end of August after my lease ended. And I celebrated my birthday in Madison. And Titusville isn't too far from where Disneyland is. And
It's Disney World, ma'am. It's
I was looking
Orlando.
at
It's right in the
pharmacy
middle.
schools in Florida as well.
Did you talk to your friends about this?
You'd be very
Yes.
successful in Florida in the medical field, for reals.
Is there any discussion of transportation or cars or things like that once you got down to Florida?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Chandler had a car lined up for when he got down there already, and I was going to drive my car down.
I thought he couldn't drive. What happened
Did
to
you ever
that?
invite your friends that were close to you and say like, hey, you can come down and visit when we're down there?
Yes.
In our
What kind of
$600,000
things did you
home?
talk to them about doing?
Going to Disneyland, Universal Studios, going fishing.
I think we saw in one of those prior texts that the SpaceX job was supposed to begin mid-June. Was that your understanding of the timing?
Okay, Allie, I'll be paying
Yes.
close attention.
Around
babe.
the time it was supposed to start, did something happen that caused a delay?
Yes.
What happened?
Mitch went to the hospital.
Chandler's brother.
Mhm.
And he's testified and told everyone kind of about it. But in general, what was your understanding of what was going on?
His sugar levels were very high and he had to be there for a couple days.
What did Chandler, did he
Well,
tell you
there's
anything
her
about
whole
whether that
anti-couch
was going to be on
fort
SpaceX, or
policy,
what
Molson
the
man,
relationship
that's got
between
me
those two things
side-eyeing
are?
her for
Mitchell's
sure.
illness and SpaceX?
He didn't want to leave while Mitch was ill.
Mitch was in the hospital for a couple days.
Yes.
At that point, did Chandler tell you, or did you know of any time he was supposed to now start SpaceX?
I don't remember.
Was it delayed?
Yes.
After
Except if you
Mitchell's
watch it here,
hospitalization,
we're
did
not
anything else happen that
insufferable.
caused
We're
the delay in
wonderful.
SpaceX?
I ended up going to the urgent care as well, and then Chandler fell.
Chandler was in the hospital.
Yes.
What did you know about Chandler falling?
He was running and slipped down the stairs and then fell pretty hard and hit his head.
Did Chandler talk to you about his injury?
Yes.
What kind of symptoms was he reporting that he was feeling after that fall?
Tingles in his legs, sensitivity to light, severe headaches, weakness.
Was Chandler able to physically do normal things?
The answer to that is no. I mean, maybe the chat has the answer, but I didn't try because I didn't want to research the case. Thank you, Lupe.
Same.
Because we're supposed to be doing it from a juror's point of view, so we can't be like, that's one of the main rules, aside from doing what we're doing right now, which is discussing the case.
Things around that time?
No,
What do you mean by that?
he had a hard time lifting things and quite often would get lightheaded.
Could he carry heavy things from what you observed or knew?
No.
Could he drive long distances, things of that sort?
Hey, Callie, how's it going, babe?
No.
Was he able to travel?
No.
Why do you know that, or why do you say that?
Because of the head injury and wearing the neck brace.
I'm going to show you a couple exhibits marked 511. Tell me what 511 is.
Chandler in the emergency room.
Okay. And he's kind of got his hat over his head there.
Yes.
Who sent you? Did you see this photo eventually?
Yes.
How'd you get that photo?
Okay, I just want to answer criminality just real quick. So today was all the like the forensics, and I noticed the part that I watched, but I didn't want to watch too much of it because I couldn't really focus. They were talking about DNA results, and I found the one part that I saw was in order for them to establish that the toothbrush in the bathroom that they collected did belong to Krista. The way that they did it was basically through paternity testing, and they used Bart's known DNA sample and Mitch's known DNA sample. But I noticed that they did not, and well, they compared it with Mitchell's buccal swab. But I noticed that they did not mention, at least up until that point, Chandler's buccal swab, because they did get one from him. That's all I know so far. I'm sure it's going to come up.
It was sent to me.
Do you know who sent it to you?
I believe it was Chandler or his mother.
What's 512?
Chandler with Mr. Halderson and Mitch during the Father's Day brunch.
He's wearing the collar there.
Yes.
513.
We're not there yet,
Another
Callie.
photo of Chandler in the collar.
Yes.
I don't know.
Move 5, 11, 12, and 13 into evidence.
Any objection?
No objection.
It is, they are received. They may be published.
Thank you, Judge. Just so we're all looking at the same thing, you said this is a photograph that was sent to you, Chandler, in the hospital, 511. Correct?
Correct.
Sorry, we got to do it twice, kind of, that's how it works. 512, photograph of, that's Chandler on the left side, correct?
Correct.
And then the middle, is that Mr. Halderson?
Correct.
And on the right, is that Mitchell?
Correct.
And that's, where is that photo taken? Do you know?
In the living room by the kitchen.
In front of the fireplace.
513,
Not
another
the
photograph of
fireplace,
Chandler
though.
wearing that neck brace.
Correct.
I am too. Criminality.
What were you aware of?
I'm
in
saying
terms
call
of,
you
like,
Teresa.
Prognosis.
Call her
for
Crim.
his
She
injuries?
loves it.
Call her
What's
Crim.
going
All
on?
right. Crim.
Don't do it.
He had a concussion.
Of course I wouldn't do that. That's
Blood
rude.
sensitivity
I'm gonna
and
call her Teresa. That's her name. That's how I know her.
tingling in his legs.
Was it going to get better?
Alley 79 is about to be muted for this business right here.
I guess at this point I'm gonna object.
It's I want to laugh because it's funny.
I'll withdraw
And
the
it's but it's
question
not
because that's
intended
okay.
to be
Did
funny.
Chandler tell you if he was going to get better or the symptoms were improving around that time?
No.
Was there any discussion about how the concussion and the injury was going to affect SpaceX?
He wouldn't be able to travel down there.
Tell me about anything you remember about that type of discussion.
Can you be more specific, please?
Yeah. What did Chandler specifically tell you about why he couldn't travel?
Because he was wearing the neck brace and he had a concussion.
It's not
so
that
he
you're
shouldn't be
telling
flying.
details. It's just funny. I don't know. I need help.
Same question as before about American Family and MATC. Did you ever see anything around Chandler's room, on his phone, any documents, records with the SpaceX or Tesla logo or anything like that?
No.
Hey Heather, what's going
Talk a little
on?
bit about houses and things of that sort. Were you aware at any point if Chandler had rented an apartment?
Yes.
And tell me about that.
Chandler said he rented an
It was a
apartment.
2-bedroom apartment. And he put a down payment for it. And there's a little dog park so I could bring my dog Chewbacca down.
All right, hold on a minute now.
Chewbacca?
Hush, Heather. Hush, Shmita. Let me say this. That was going to be her one redeeming point, is that she was cute enough to name her dog Chewbacca, because Chewbacca is one of my favorites. But, ma'am, don't you rent an apartment? Yes. It's not a down payment. Down payments are for houses. You mean a deposit? Lord.
Maybe she's
Mhm.
abbreviated.
Okay. That's enough out
How
of
do you know
you,
about this
too.
Chandler sent me a link.
I can't get
Did he
mad
tell
at
you
you. I have
whether
a
he was
whole
just looking at her or
shelf
if he had actually rented
of
it?
Star Wars stuff. I love
That he
Star
rented it.
Wars.
Did you yourself see a lease of any sort?
No.
Did you ever sign a lease?
No.
Hey, Momo, when did you sneak in here, babe?
Is your only connection with this apartment is looking at the listing that was sent to you?
Correct.
He really is Team Psych Ward, a whole science study. I can't judge her for the Star Wars stuff.
We're going to start talking
I got a
about
Darth
events
Vader at the
starting
end of
on
the
June
bed.
30th and kind of all the way through July 8th at this point. And I think I'm going to let some of your messages guide our conversation. So I'm going to be walking back and forth quite a bit. But to show you what's been marked in this case is exhibit number 514. Just briefly, could you just page through that and tell us kind of what dates these text messages are from?
Excuse me, Allie or Callie. He used a handsaw and pruning shears.
They're all on June 30th.
June 30th of 2021, right?
Correct.
And these are the messages
Wait,
between
I
you and
meant to
Chandler?
keep that up.
Correct.
I'll move 514 into evidence.
Any objection?
I'll bring up the same objection from the sidebar, but otherwise, no.
All right. And based upon the same ruling, they are received and they may be shown.
I'm going to start showing them, and I'm going to ask for some context because we're picking up, obviously, in the middle of thousands of pages of messages, maybe. But the first
I do
message
love her
is,
hair, Momo.
a message from you. To be honest, it's getting to the point where I want to text your mom directly. What was this about on June 30th, 3:18 in the afternoon?
It sounds
About
like a
him,
I'm tired of your shit
being grounded
text.
and not being able to see me or hang out.
What was your understanding at that time of what was going on from Chandler? What did he tell you? He was grounded?
Yes.
Were you wanting to see him?
Yes.
And what did he tell you about whether he could see you or not?
To be fair, Ted Bundy only did
couldn't.
the heads.
Because of what?
He's kind of lazy in
Because
that
I
way.
wasn't allowed over.
You communicated with Krista a lot, right?
Yes.
When you say that, was Chandler telling you that, or did you actually hear that from Krista and Bart?
From Chandler.
Okay. And you say it's getting to the point where I want to text your mom directly.
What are you
And
going to
Chandler
do? Get
says-
her off ground? Get
Can
him
you read
off
that for me?
grounding?
It's fine, B. That'll only piss them off more.
And what does he say?
This weekend will be great.
That weekend was the 4th of July weekend coming up, right?
Correct.
Uh-oh.
You say, now we're still June 30th, we're about 3:19 in the afternoon. You say, okay.
Yeah, because
And he
I
says
can't.
what?
I can't really say anything yet
Bill.
because I don't.
And then
I don't
on
have enough
June 30th,
information from her yet. These are real
you
easy
send
questions.
this message next. What does that say?
We're not going to the cabin, right?
So in the realm of messages, where the cabin, the first time the jury's seen that, how did this come up, or what was going on where you sent this message?
I was under the impression that Mr. and Mrs. Halderson were going up to the cabin for the 4th of July weekend.
Was that conversations or like over the phone or in person you'd had with Chandler?
That's
Or was that-
leading.
Over the phone.
Where is his lawyers?
and
Back
you
me
asked,
up,
"We're
T.
not going
This
to the
is
cabin,
leading,
are we?"
right?
What does Chandler say?
No.
Definitely.
It's leading.
You say, I can ask if we can go to the farm, right?
Correct.
And that ended up coming to fruition. You did that.
Yes.
Also leading.
You read that last message you sent?
That way we can say my mom can care for you since they have a lot of stuff here that they use for Mike and Papa.
Your mom and Cress testified. Who are Mike and Papa in general, and what did that mean that there was stuff there for them?
Mike is Cress's brother and Papa is her father. Papa is elderly. He is over 90 years of age. And Mike is
And he can
wheelchair
still.
bound.
What'd he kill at
and
95?
needs help going to the
buck.
restroom, and overall, my mom helps take care of them.
What kind of stuff were you talking about that there was stuff there?
Thank you, Therese. That's what I thought.
Walkers. If he needed one of those stools that you put over the toilet so an elderly person can sit down and they don't have to squat so low since it's hard for their knees.
Was it your impression that Chandler would be assisted by some of those things?
No, it was her. She just wanted him to get off grounded. So that's what she was going to tell the parents. Did you read that text? Yeah, I'm curious too. This is redonk.
No,
Why did you say that there was stuff there for them?
Because I was finna lie to his mom.
so we'd be able to hang out since his mom was very concerned about his injury.
The next day, Thursday, July 1st, you worked that day?
No, Kelly, just his parents.
Can you repeat the date?
Sure, Thursday, July 1st, so before the 4th of July weekend.
Correct.
You have a a normal job, normal type of hours, right?
Correct.
That's also leading.
Weekdays.
Correct.
Hopefully just weekdays, right? Showing you what's been marked is exhibit number 516. And I know it might be in a different form than usual, but in general, do you have an idea of what that is?
Yes.
What is that?
Snapchat messages.
Oh,
they with?
snappy chats. Here we go.
Chandler.
And Chandler's, to the best you can, I know these are people make up names, but what was Chandler's Snapchat name?
Chazzle Dazzle.
Chazzle Dazzle.
Chazzle dazzle.
And significant parts of this are redacted out. In the
Reminds
course
me
of
of the
sending
old,
Snapchat, sometimes you send
Hold on. I'm
just
push pause.
in general, people are sending pictures back and forth, and part of what we've done in this case is just
Why are you explaining to her the process? She's not going to school to be an attorney, sir? It reminds me of, some of y'all be too young, but some of y'all will know this. Molson Man will know it. Remember the old NBA game on Super Nintendo where they had what was his name? The announcer, and he would go razzle dazzle. Sorry, it was better in my head. Let me play.
just redact any photographs that we really thought we could, right?
Correct.
Okay. Kept one on though, just to prove that's you, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Look at all the girls in
Is
here.
516
That sounds like bedazzling.
Snapchat messages between
Here
July
comes Jen.
1st.
That sounds like the
and July
NBA game
7th
from
between you
Super
and Chandler?
Nintendo.
Correct.
I'll move 516 into evidence.
Any objection?
Same objection as the text messages.
Same ruling that it is received. Maybe.
I'm going to change the name of the channel to
I
Chazzle
need you to tell
Dazzle.
us about Snapchat. I don't know what everyone's understanding is. Everyone's of different ages. Some people have a Snapchat, some people don't. Just in general, what is Snapchat?
Snapchat is a social media app where you can send photos with titles.
And they
or,
disappear if you
can
want
send
them
messages
to.
through the chat
Mhm.
part of the app.
And what is one of the features of Snapchat that it's primarily known for that text messages maybe aren't?
They aren't generally saved.
They delete, right?
Correct.
Okay. Is there a way to manually
I wanted a
save
Super
messages
Nintendo
or
for
photos on
Christmas. My
Snapchat?
mom got me a
Yes.
Sega.
And
very
is it easy or is it
upset.
hard?
I find it easy.
What do you do?
You hold down the text and you select save.
And if you save the message, if you're communicating right now with Snapchat with one of your friends, and they send you a snap, if you click on it and look and do nothing, that message will delete, right?
Sometimes.
Oh,
But if you could manually save it, right? By putting your finger down and saving it.
Correct. Or if you change the settings to delete within 24 hours.
Sometimes when you snap
The
to Chandler,
Genesis
one or both
Molson?
of you would save the messages.
I was
And
so
those
upset with
messages
her.
are
I
what
was
we're
like,
looking
Mom,
at
that
here, right?
lady at
Correct.
Circuit City hosed you. I just wanted to play some Street Fighter 2.
Did you say
That's all I
Snapchat
cared
is your
about.
primary form of communication with Chandler?
One of them.
So
What about Vanish Mode?
I'm going to display 516, and we'll start going through some things here. In
I
a
wonder
second,
if they
but
did use Facebook
We
at all.
talked about, we left one photograph on just to prove that's you, right?
Correct.
Okay. We'll redact the rest. And when,
I was
for obvious reasons, we
looking.
don't
I was
want
looking until the little
everything coming
Facebook.
out.
It's kind of
but
big, of course, but
On
didn't
Wait,
find too
July
much here.
1st,
Hold on just a second. Wait, what did you say, juror number 3? You were what?
Nothing.
No. No, I'm serious. Like, I'm curious if they only use the snappy chats or
Yeah,
if they ever use Facebook Messenger in Vanish mode, because it does the same thing as
2021 at
Snapchat.
7-Eleven.
Yeah,
it
I
makes
don't know.
me
I
wonder.
didn't find much. I didn't find much on online. Like, I didn't even
You-
find Krista. I
You
found the
searched.
dad. I didn't find nothing though.
Ooh.
Found the uncle.
You're gonna cause a whole mistrial, Allie. What you doing over here, Shmita?
Nothing.
What you say, Shmita? You did what?
You get a message, right? From Chandler?
Correct.
What does it say?
What do you know
do
about
you
what the
sleep?
kids are using,
And you say, I
Momo?
slept good. How did you sleep? And how does he
They
respond?
do too use the Facebook.
I hardly slept.
He gives you kind of a emoji
Ooh, I
face.
remember Contra.
You say, I'm sorry, B. Why? Can you read Chandler's message back to you? After
Why
you say
does he
why?
call her B?
I don't know. Stuff hasn't really been going well for me lately, so I'm trying to plan for the next thing to fuck me over.
Okay.
Yes.
After that,
Hey, Mo remembered something
Chandler sends another
importante.
message, and we'll try to get it in the right spot.
Do you see this, Shmita? He did have Facebook.
Well, there was one, but I gotta look back at my pictures. It was from like 2013.
Pump
It's old.
the brakes. He calls her B for babe or baby.
Or
Bitch.
what I usually call people a B for.
Wow.
I can't wait to get like all of this in clear
Right?
PDF form.
Right?
And can you read that?
Yeah, I just had a great future planned and it's falling apart.
Oh my
You say,
God.
no, it's not. You're
So
gonna
dramatic.
Okay. Reassuring him, right?
Correct.
You respond, you're going to go to Florida. You even said it's probably just the brace, probably just the brace, right?
Correct.
He says, thanks. You say, of course, I love you, and I'm here to keep your booty in check.
Correct.
Oh my. They're
Now
very
we're up to
spicy.
7:55
Oh,
in the morning.
hi.
Right after you say that, what does Chandler say back to you?
There's a bit of a glare.
Sure.
Thank you. Will you leave me even if it doesn't work? Worded bad, but you understand.
What if what
You
doesn't
respond,
work?
no, I wouldn't. And he
His
says,
toe? I don't
Your
know.
toe, you in
I
general?
won't stop trying.
It's like that SpongeBob episode. That's two things that
you
won't
say, like, Florida would be so dope and like nice, but I'm not dating you for money. I love you tons.
Correct.
What does he say?
Here comes
I love
Callie.
you a ton,
Callie would have
too.
deleted
By
and
the way, I'm
blocked
not
him.
giving up. I'm just worried.
Right,
say,
Molson man? Don't be trying to
worry,
be the boss of me, lady.
love. Don't be worried, love. It'll work out.
Correct.
And he says, thank you, B. You say, of course.
Oh, who's in the background of her
Now we're up to
picture?
8:30. He says, you helped me a ton.
Uh-oh.
Who that
Right?
be?
Correct.
Who that be?
Other than these messages, these Snapchat messages that morning, were you and Chandler
Can you
communicating
imagine
by
me
phone or
asking
anything
about
else
this?
around
What about the
7:30 and
snappy
8:30 in the
chats,
morning on
ma'am?
July
I'd have
1st
to
of
say it the right
2021
way.
that you remember?
I don't remember.
Now that's a weekday, and I think you said you were working that day.
Correct.
About what time do you go to work?
It's things like this. It's going to get us questioned, Momo.
8:30 since I was working close.
And if you had to work at 8:30, is that what time you would leave or what time you'd get there?
I have to be clocked in by 8:30.
Also, I'm sure they would be judged,
What
and
time
they
would you
would
have
be
to
judged.
leave where you're staying to get
Hilarious.
to work by 8:30?
Around 8 o'clock, 8:10.
When you're at work, I think we all maybe send an occasional message or two, but are you frequently on your phone a lot at work or
Don't
only when you
admit
just
to
have a
it.
second?
No, at lunch, only at
When I have a
breaks.
minute,
Do you have a busy job?
I do.
Okay. At some point that day, you and Chandler switch back to texting as well, right?
Correct.
Okay. Showing it's been marked in this case is exhibit number 515. Just look at a message. Can you tell me what date these messages are?
July 1st, 2021.
All right. And this appear to be a couple pages of text messages between you two?
Correct.
All right. I'll move 515 into evidence.
jokers are
objection of
all
the
kinds of
incident?
Twitter pated and
No.
loved.
They
I
are
send
received.
more text messages to the
They may be.
girls.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. Should I be watching that one, Teresa? I keep hearing about it, but then
Maybe try
you
one
know
more
how
light
I
on
get.
Midge. We'll see if we can't get
Something
this.
shiny comes along, and I'm like, huh? Totally
Squirrel.
forget what I
That's
was
worse
doing.
than
Yeah,
that.
pretty much.
There we go.
Who?
right.
What? Huh?
Can you see that, Cat, or no?
Oh, a
Correct, I
shower
can.
pic.
Okay.
No.
I'm going to try on my end to fix things up a little bit.
Wait a minute. Wait,
Starts
I
with just
missed
you
something.
talking,
Hold on a
and
second. I'm going to
eventually
have to push pause because I see
There's
the
a message from
word
Chandler.
cochinos in the chats, and I need to know who's being nasty. Let me see. I don't see that. Lupe, I need you to explain who's a cochino. Who's cochinos? Okay, let me push play. We're never going to get through this at the rate
on
I'm
the
going.
1st at 1:02
Sorry,
p.m.
y'all.
And I'll move it down so it's out of the light. But can you tell me what that message says?
Sorry, forgot to tell you, but Mom did okay you hanging out with us all weekend.
Sorry, and I think I said Chandler. I meant you. Right. Did you send that message or did Chandler?
I did.
Okay. Your mom okayed you guys hanging out.
Correct.
Was that at
Ooh,
the farm
we
and-
can
and
do
things
that
like that?
next.
Correct.
We do have, there's going to be a break because old
Chandler
Chazzle
responds,
Dazzle
"Awesome."
has the vid.
And what do you say back to him?
Yeah, so convince your parents hard.
And that was
I
at
see, Lupe.
1:03 on the 1st. What did you
I
mean by
agree.
that? Convince your parents hard.
I meant to convince his parents to let us hang out.
Why would he need to convince his parents based on what you knew?
Can't
at the
get
time?
this
What was
eyelash
going
out of
on?
my eye.
He wasn't able to hang out around that time.
He was on punishment.
And then at 1:03, just after that, Chandler sends you a message. What does that say?
I overheard that they might go to the cabin with their friends, but IDK.
What is ITK? Just kidding. I know what that means.
So that was kind of following up on the possibility of the
did that
cabin
one
from
time.
yesterday on the 30th. There it's kind of more conclusive.
Bless
He's
his
like, I
little
don't know what
heart.
that means.
It means I don't
I
know
don't know
anything.
what I know.
Bless his little heart.
What time did you get off work? What time do you get off work generally? Or if you know, what time did you get off that day?
5 o'clock.
When you get home that day, do you remember what you did?
I think they should say it like it with the spirit in which it was written. Team Psychward. It shouldn't be just
Don't
Chazzle
remember.
Dazzle. It should be Chazzle Dazzle. You know?
Do you and Chandler FaceTime a lot?
Yes.
Kind of a weird question, but I have to ask. Did you sometimes FaceTime when you guys were showering?
Yes.
Okay.
Ay, Dios mío. Now
Sometimes
we're
you take
getting
screenshots of
into the
Chandler.
chisme.
Yes.
You took a lot of screenshots on your phone, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay. I'm showing you it's been marked in
Yeah.
these cases. 517, is that one of those screenshots?
Yes.
Did you take that night, sometime after you got home from work, while FaceTiming with Chandler?
Yes.
Okay, we'll move
Oh, you
517
are
into evidence.
she is a screenshotting
It's not a new
queen.
photograph too, I'll note.
I like it.
It's
I do
above
too.
the waist.
A girl after my own heart.
And just briefly, that's kind of the FaceTime setup, but that's Chandler.
Oh, they're not going to show it.
And the background, does that appear to be the shower at the Halderson home?
Yes.
They have a big shower
Looks like he's sitting on the toilet, but
Yes.
Correct.
and it's Chandler looking into his phone and you snap the screenshot.
Pardon?
You snap that screenshot?
Yes.
Okay.
You're right, Lupe.
Did you have any plans to hang out with
That's
Chandler that night as far as
nasty.
you remember?
Not that night.
Okay. But you were communicating a lot?
Correct.
Later that night, at some point, Judge, if you could turn the lights on just briefly for the witness. There's some additional messages. Around 8:30 at night, Chandler sends you a couple of messages. Could you just, there's one with an emoji, but could you read out the two that have text?
Baby, I need you.
Baby, I need you.
Yes.
Oh,
Did you know what that was in
gosh.
reference to?
I don't recall.
Mm,
And
don't tell
later, the
mentiras.
discussion of him looking at your Snapchat location and wondering where you were.
Who? Huh?
Correct.
Callie's not going to be Chazzle Dazzle's
And I think
hype
that's
man,
at
I
8,
can
but it's
tell
in
you
military
right
time,
now.
so that would be 6:30ish or so.
Oh, 98 pounds of lean, mean
I was
Chazzle
referencing Exhibit
Dazzle.
516.
Thank you.
So around 6:30 or so, when Chandler sends you the message, "Baby, I need you," do you recall talking to him after that, verbally on the phone?
This is where she gives me NK vibes.
I don't recall.
Yes, y'all did. Y'all
Now,
talk dirty. It's all
we
right,
talked-
girl.
I think
You're
I
an
mentioned
adult.
something
You
about
can.
Snapchat locations. It's another feature of Snapchat have anything to do with your location?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, is there a
Oh.
location feature on Snapchat with your friends that
Why
you can
she
look at
look
their location?
shook?
Correct. Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Did you see that face?
You can select certain friends to view your location, or anyone who is on your friends list can view it.
In your
She's
and
looking at
Chandler's
him.
relationship,
Uh-huh.
was
Duh.
that something you did with each other?
Correct.
And was it reciprocal? Both of you did that?
Correct.
When this was going on during your relationship, was it your intention that anytime you'd open Snapchat, you'd in theory be able to see exactly where he was?
Correct.
And him the same for you?
Correct.
Were you aware at all of what Chandler's plans were the night of the first, when you were either FaceTiming while he was in the shower or any conversation? Did he talk at all about what he was doing that night?
That he would be taking care of the dogs and was going to make dinner.
Couch fort? No, not yet.
Did he mention, or do you recall if he said anything about where his parents were on that day?
He said they were doing a grocery pickup. May I have a break?
Oh,
This is a good time to take a break. I think we can. We're approaching, I try to do them every 90 minutes, and we're pretty close to that. And sometimes the after lunch break can come a little bit earlier and be wise.
Very
So let's
abrupt.
take 10 minutes.
you're
both for the
very
jury
you're a
and
very
for the
nice
witness.
judge. Let me just say this. I've watched a lot of trials in my day. Like a lot. And I don't ever remember a witness in a criminal trial, not like a deposition, yes, but I don't think I've ever heard in a criminal trial a witness in the middle of testimony ask for a break. That was an adult, maybe a
What-
kid.
What is up with his beard? What the hell is that?
Well,
A squiggle? A patch?
I mean, it's a little patchy, Schmida. Are you going to find him guilty based on that ragtag bootleg beard? Oh my
Maybe.
gosh. Right, Sugar Beet. Like I've watched a lot of trials, and I can't think of a single other time in a criminal proceeding where a witness has asked for a break. That's not like a child testifying. And if usually, and even then, they don't really show children on the stand, obviously. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's, I don't. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, how come all of a sudden he's wearing glasses? He wasn't wearing
Parties,
glasses in the interrogation, right? Yeah, pretty much, Watts. That's how we all found each other, Amelia. We don't say that name over here. No, just kidding. Can you imagine if I was like that, though? Stupid island. Oh, Schmida, you have the thing. Move over a little, Judge, so I can. What's this? Looks like you're wearing a peach ensemble today. It's a snappy tie, though. I like that bow tie, sir. I know, Max 2002. The only thing I can think of is that the part of the defense was, hold on, let me push pause. Yeah, we know. I think that he refused. This was their only play, and I think it was the only thing they could do because you have the right to a speedy trial, right? But you can waive that right if you want to. But in this case, I would think with all the forensics that were going to come into play, and courts being backed up because of COVID, yada yada yada, I think that they probably didn't waive their right to a speedy trial and pushed it to go quickly. And as far as I was thinking that same thing too, Molson Man, until they showed a view of it, and they're rather thick. So they're not just for looks. They're for a reason. Like he needs them, which I didn't know that. Right, Kelly? But I think that the quickness was intentional, I think, on the defense's part, because all the reasons I just listed.
Thank you. I don't know if it's hard for them to see when what's called.
Now, is he being held in jail, or did he make bond? Because he's got some product in his hair. It makes me curious.
Cross-examination, Attorney
He
Vera.
must have money on
Thank
the
you.
books.
I don't think
Kat,
he
is
made
it okay if I call you Kat?
Yes.
I just
Okay,
have a
thank
couple
you,
questions
Amelia,
for
and
so I
thank you,
won't keep
Shmita.
here super long. We saw a lot of screenshots and pictures that you provided law enforcement. It's not unusual for you to take screenshots and have a lot of pictures of your activities, correct?
No.
And we're just focusing on a particular time frame, but as far
We're
as
going to talk
photographs
about
and
that tomorrow,
screenshots,
Max.
That's about what you do any other month, any other week, correct?
Correct.
I want to take you back to the Halderson household for a little bit. You've probably been there about at least a dozen times. Is that fair?
Yes.
Probably more.
Hmm.
So you're familiar with the layout of the home,
Yes.
and you're probably familiar with how the Haldersons kept the home.
Yes.
So you're familiar with the fact
All right,
that
I'm done
they
with
didn't
you now
have an
too,
AC
Molson
unit,
Man.
correct?
Look at that,
Correct.
Shmita.
And
Maybe a
this
pair
summer
of
was particularly hot,
underwear,
correct?
Correct.
blue.
So when you were around during the summer, it wasn't unusual for them to have their
Boxers.
windows open.
Not unusual at all.
They were also doing renovations around that time, correct?
Correct.
We've seen a couple pictures of the home, and there were what I'll refer to as blankets that were covering some of the furniture. That's not unusual, correct?
Not at all.
Hey,
And do
Amy,
you know
how's
why
it
the
going,
blankets were
babe?
there?
Kiss
Miss
that baby
Halderson
for
liked
me.
protecting the couches from the dogs because they would jump on there, especially once coming outside.
Have we seen pictures of these dogs?
So that
I
was
need to see
probably
these
something that was
donkeys.
kept year round throughout
I've
the
only
house.
seen the
The
one
blankets
on
and
the
the
dad's
couches? Correct.
Facebook.
What kind of
I'll
dogs
send
are
it.
they?
Now, as
Like
far as
border collie
kind of
looking type
Aldersons,
dog. I don't know.
it
Oh,
sounded
like
like you
Lassies?
spend a lot of time with them
They
there
look like
Kind of.
as
Lassie?
a
Okay.
family, if you will. correct?
Opposite to my orangutan.
So you
Stop
probably had a
calling
couple
him
meals
that.
with them.
Objection.
And would you agree with me that Haldersons, Chandler, Brett, and Krista enjoyed cold
Oh,
beverages?
sorry.
Correct.
And they
Cold beverages. All right.
You mentioned it during your direct that in one of the freezers there was a bag of ice.
Correct.
It's not unusual for them to have bags of ice in their household.
No, it's not unusual.
And is that because there was a broken ice maker, or did they even have an ice maker?
The
Relevant?
ice maker in the fridge in the kitchen was always broken, and they had
Hey,
a
coolest
tiny ice
reviews.
maker,
Long
like
time
a
no
portable
see.
one,
They
but
did,
it,
Molson Man.
It was slow at making ice.
So sometimes Chandler would go get some ice from Quick Trip. I think that was the nearest place.
Correct.
And sometimes Krista would do that too.
Correct.
Maybe even Bart.
Correct.
A little bit to me too.
The girl talking now?
You mentioned the dogs.
Yeah.
And we've kind of heard about the dogs for a bit.
Is she the one that yelled
Haldersons had
judge?
2 dogs,
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Rizzo and Izzy.
Just
Sounds
the
like something I'd
outburst.
A couple times we've heard that maybe perhaps
It
they were
has
kept
been a
in the garage
while.
when people were
Cool
coming over.
I'd be paying
In your
attention. Coolest
experience,
reviews.
Would you describe the dogs, and maybe one in
It's
particular,
been at least a few
as
weeks since I've seen
anxious?
you in here.
Yes,
maybe jumpy,
yes,
bit afraid?
yes.
And that was it both of the dogs or just one dog?
Rizzo.
Rizzo, and she's the oldest one or the youngest one?
You
The
named her
youngest.
after the character in
and that was
Grease,
just her personality, correct?
Correct.
or the
Did
rat from
she-
Ratatouille.
Was she nice with you? Did she approach you?
It took her a long
I
time. but
pay
yes.
attention.
But eventually she warmed
Is
up
what
to
I
you.
said. I pay
Yes.
attention.
And
I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. That's
in
what I said.
particular around this time, because it's 4th of July, there were a lot of fireworks going off, correct?
Correct.
And that just made her anxious, skittishness worse.
Correct.
And as far as the
Skittishness.
dogs
I think it's
go,
skittishness.
Chandler loved these dogs, correct?
Correct.
He took good care of these dogs.
Correct.
You mentioned that I think it was Izzy that fell down the stairs and he stayed with her to make sure she was okay. Or was that the other dog, Rizzo?
It was Izzy who fell.
And
Okay.
as far as Chandler goes, you would agree with me that he's generally a quiet individual,
Correct.
reserved.
Correct.
You probably bring out more of his personality.
Correct.
We also saw a lot of pictures that you two took together. Was that something that you did often?
Correct.
And you would also agree with me that he's a pretty nerdy guy.
Correct.
He loves Star Wars.
Correct.
Did you already have Chewbacca before you met Chandler, or
Objection. Just because somebody likes Star Wars does not make them nerdy.
did he help you out with that?
Yes, it does.
I got Chewbacca
Shmita?
about
I will fight you in the streets.
3 weeks after meeting Chandler, but I named
Show you
him.
how nerdy I
So you
am.
guys had a bond with that, with Star Wars.
Yes, I had an action figure collection that he liked.
I have no further questions for you. Thank you.
I hope she submitted pictures of that in the discovery. I kind of want to see
Yes.
hers.
I kind of want to see her
Figure
action figure collection. Ah!
Damn, bud.
I'm the coolest person I know. No, just kidding. I am a little nerdy. I like Star Wars. Star Wars had some valuable life lessons.
I've never seen it.
I know, Shamita. We're going to fix that. She just asked about the ice. Yes, she did, Allie. She asked, did they keep ice? Did they like cold drinks? And it wasn't one of their ice makers in their kitchen broken? And she said, well, no, but it was slow to make ice. But I will say this. The house I lived in before, hold on, I'm going to push pause in case we miss anything importante. The house I lived in before this one had an ice maker. This house does not have an ice maker. And
Or a dishwasher.
or
What?
the other house didn't have a dishwasher either. It's a Florida thing. I don't get it, but regardless, we're not talking about washing, it's about ice. So when we first got here, of course, I was going to the store, like the gas station, but I would get like the 20-pound bag of ice, and I like a lot of ice, right? I know it's like I'm living in the Stone Ages, Heather. It's ridiculous. I can't live like this. So for all four of us, we would go through like a 20-pound bag in like every couple of weeks, and that's with a lot of ice. So then we got an ice maker, the one that you can put on the counter, and that's way better. But
And now Jen doesn't use her phone to break up the ice.
For the record, Your
Right.
Honor, I have never used my phone. I've just been on the phone when I use a knife to break up the ice in the bag from the gas station, but that doesn't
Mhm.
happen anymore. Oh, is that what he asked? I'll have to go back and watch that again, Allie, because she did hesitate for a very long time. Maybe
I
we
think she's
haven't.
afraid of him getting like not afraid of him getting in trouble, but like adding to. I don't know. I think she still is in love with him.
I do too. Aw, thank you. Coolest reviews. I've never used my phone. I just use a knife like a normal person. This fool over juror number 2 doesn't know what I'm.
Three.
Juror number
Great.
3 doesn't know my life. She thinks she knows my life. She does not know my life. All right,
You don't
let's
even
get.
know my number.
I'm sorry, I don't know your juror number. I might have to bump you up to 2 and bump Dr. B down to 3 since she's absent.
Then you'll always call me number 3.
No, I'm gonna just from now on. I'm just gonna start calling you number 2.
That's everybody's dream nickname. Can't wait.
Oh, that's a good idea, Molson man. I'm gonna have to try that. Shmita be getting mad at me though. I don't even do that anymore. Did I push play? Yeah, it's moving. What's happening? The sidebar? All right. So I don't hear anything. What's going on here?
You got the volume up.
No, it's yeah. I think they're still on a sidebar. Mm.
You say small, what do you mean by that? Like how quickly would it produce ice?
Here we go.
Maybe like about 3 of these wide and maybe 3 stacks. It was not that big, and it created little ice cubes that you would just scoop and put in your drink, and you would have to constantly add water to keep it going.
Yeah, that's how mine is. It's kind of a pain in the ass.
The July 1st or July 2nd, around that time. you said
Dang,
the Halderson
Heather.
sometimes would buy
Heather's
ice,
doing
though,
all
then
the
use more?
things.
Yes.
Around that time, do you know of any reason why Chandler would have needed 20 or more pounds of ice, more than what was able to be produced at the house in that ice maker?
20 pounds of ice. That's a lot.
Can you repeat that?
Right. Do you know of any reason that Chandler, for his own purposes, would have needed 20 or more pounds of ice around July 1st this year?
Not that I can think of, no.
And around that time, you had brought a bag of ice to the house too, right?
Yes.
So there was the ice maker, there's the bag you bought, and then if I ask you if Chandler had bought 2 more bags, there's a lot of ice in the house around that time.
A lot of ice.
Yes.
No further questions.
And I'll just note for the record that I think it's fair to say the dimensions was approximately a foot by a foot cube is what I'm gathering from my angle of view. Any problem with that?
No.
Anything, any dispute with that from the defense?
No.
May this witness be excused?
She is excused.
Is she released from her subpoena?
She is not.
All right,
She's
that means,
not.
Miss, that you are finished testifying here today, but you're still under the state's subpoena.
And they
the
can
defense, if the
recall
defense
you.
has one, and that you can't discuss your testimony with anyone, and you'll have to wait to find out from the party subpoenaing you when you're released or whether you're being recalled. All right? Thank you so much for your time. You
Good
can go
night,
ahead and
Max.
exit.
Thanks for
We'll take one
coming,
more
babe.
witness.
Wow, wow, wow. Wait, what is it that I'm supposed to say? Wowie, wow.
Wow, wow, wow.
Wow, wowie, wow, wow. Oh my gosh.
See, does
Well,
she not leave you wanting more? Like, I can't tell if she is just shy and nervous and whatever, but like something makes me feel like she is very devious. And maybe she was able to like manipulate her mom in a lot of situations so she would get mad that Chandler couldn't do that with his parents. I don't know. I don't want to judge too soon, but just thinking
I
out
mean,
loud
we're
here.
supposed to be, it's not really judging, we're discussing. And to be fair, it's our impressions of the testimony as if we were jurors. And so we would be questioning her credibility. So it's really not judging, it's discussing. I almost started to say disgusting.
Are you abbreviated?
I might be a little abbreviated. I will say this. I felt that for the most part, her Molson man, because Chazzle Dazzle has the vid. Let me add my phone here because I want to have a cigarette. Enter studio. I felt generally speaking, or mostly on the whole, that her testimony was credible. I believed the things that she was saying. Hold on just a second.
You said that you were going to add your phone. And it was like beep. And I'm like, oh, who's here?
It's me. Let me remove this one. Okay. Did I just remove the right? Yeah, okay. All right. So I found her testimony to be credible, but I will say this. There were times when, despite her best efforts, which I thought was very clever by hiding behind the mask, so you couldn't completely tell her facial expressions, but you could see when she sucked in her breath and paused. And there were questions that he asked that made her uncomfortable, which made me then want to know. Yeah, Amelia said that he got the vid, which made me want to know why those questions made her uncomfortable. Because I think the thing with the ice, though, to me, when he asked her about the ice, rather than devious, to me, what it looked like is that she just put it all together. Why he needed all that
It was
ice.
starting to click.
Yeah, like all the synapses started to fire, and she was like, oh, hell. I was in that house. I brought more ice, like that. And I could tell that there were parts in her testimony that made her uncomfortable because to me, it seemed like she didn't want to, for lack of a better word, snitch on him. She didn't want to talk about it. But I think that, hold on a second. I think that you could tell that she did care and real about the Haldersons, Bart and Krista, because she got upset.
Yeah, talking about game night and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think she quite understood why at 23 he would be grounded when she at 21 had her own place, and she probably hadn't been grounded since she was an adult, because her mom seems to have a different relationship with her. But and I can see how that would be frustrating. It's one thing to go through that kind of stuff when you're in high school and you're supposed to be grounded, but not when you're an adult. I think that the frustration was more with him than with his parents, because the solution would be simple: move out. You know what I mean? But
Postponed until January 18th. I'm actually okay with that because then it gives us a chance to catch up.
yes, this
Not
is
gonna
going to give
lie.
us, yeah, I need to catch up. Well, because we came in on this and then decided to do it like late in the game. So this is good. And if criminality, if you're still in here, I'm totally going to do look up the what is it, corn rate killer. Good night, nonstop mom. Thanks for coming. See you tomorrow night. I want to do that one next. That's because I that does sound familiar to me, but on the whole, I found her testimony to be credible. I do find it interesting, however, that Mitch was released from his subpoena. Sort of. He's not allowed to talk about his testimony, but he's not going to be recalled. So he was free to be in the gallery watching. She was not, which tells me that one, maybe the reason is maybe he would try to contact her, and which would be dangerous because the defense put her on one too, which would then be dangerous for their client. And this might be an effort to keep them from speaking. Or two, the defense plans to recall her. Because you'll notice on the stand, the prosecution, and she was their witness, didn't ask her a whole lot about what they did that weekend. She spent a couple of nights at that house.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't ask her anything about that. I have a strong suspicion that she will be recalled.
Okay.
So I don't know, because I mean that could be it too, Dr. B. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like the reason that she is, but they didn't, they released Bart's brother completely too, and they also released the family friends. She's the only one that they didn't
I don't know if
release so
Crest was
far.
released. I don't know. I forget.
I'll have to look at that one. But anyway, I mean, it could be for any reason. It could be for the reason I named. It could be, I could be completely wrong. It just makes sense to me that if Chandler was tempted, they can't control their client in jail. Remember Chris Watts talking to all them women, not claiming one? Yeah, I remember, Chris, even if you don't. But that could be it, an attempt to keep their client under control, or it. Momo says Crest was released.
Oh, okay.
I think they're going to recall her because, like I said, they surely. Oh, thank you, Lupe, for becoming a member. Yay!
Aww.
I can't. Thank you so much. Excuse me. Anyway, I'm curious. I think she's going to be recalled because they didn't ask her that much about the weekend. And to be fair, Cress Molson, man, Dulce's partner. It's her girlfriend. It's we just watched her whole
The
testimony.
one that owns the farm.
The one that owns the farm, where the torso of Bart Halderson was located. What was I going to say? I forgot my whole train of thought. What was I talking about, Shmita? Shmita! Oh my God. Yeah, you're not going to learn anything here, Lupe, but we have a ton of fun. Yeah. I was talking about Chris for a second.
I got the memory of a fish. I can't. I'm sorry.
Dory. It is no, it was Chris. I did make a joke about Chris Watts about him talking to all those women while he's locked up. But anyway, I think they're going to end up recalling her because they didn't ask a whole lot of questions. I know what
Good
I was
night,
going to say.
Amelia.
Good night, Amelia. Thank you for being here. They didn't, the prosecution didn't ask her a whole lot of questions about that weekend, which it makes sense for them not to be the ones that ask. It actually makes more sense because from what I've seen from some of the questioning with respect to the gun, especially the murder weapon, and when they released the crime scene, but the time between when the crime scene was released and when the gun was discovered, and I think they're going to try to imply that anybody could have put that gun there. And it doesn't mean that he's the one that put it there, right? So
And so far, I think it's just the torso, right, on the farm.
Yeah, I think it's just the torso on the farm, and then I believe all they found of his mom was her legs.
Oh.
Yeah. So, thank you, Momo. Thank you, Teresa. Yeah, I think that's what but I do think that the defense is going to end up calling her back. Which then...
They got to do something because they're not really giving him a defense.
Well, see, I was thinking about that, and I know that we're supposed to be doing this from a juror's perspective, which we are. Okay, but obviously, we can't just not say things. I think that what the defense, the only thing I can see that would potentially be their defense is they don't actually have to come up with a specific alternate person that committed the crime, right? A suspect. They don't have to do that. They really don't have to do anything. It's up to the prosecution to prove him guilty. However, that's not usually how it goes. I think what they're going to attack is that the state cannot prove that Chandler and Chandler alone had access to the gun. Chandler and Chandler alone had the means, motive, and opportunity to do this. And the truth of the matter is, the way that they can do that is to put her on the stand.
Well, they did mention, like, there's a gap. There's a gap in the timeline. There's a gap in the timeline. And I think they might go back and try to fill her in.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I think that's why they're going to put her on. I think that's why the defense is going to put her on the stand. Because so in order for them, the counts would require the state to prove intent, which intent can be formed mere seconds. Intentional intent, right? Can be formed mere seconds before the crime is actually committed. So premeditation is not like what people legally. Premeditation means something different than when we think about premeditation just like in everyday lives, right? But the legal definition of premeditation is different. And what they would need to do is they have to prove, the state has to prove that he and he alone did all of the things, all 8 counts. He's the one that he and he alone committed first-degree intentional homicide. He and he alone lied about on the report of a missing or kidnapped person. He and he alone mutilated a corpse. He and he alone hid a corpse. So if they can put her somewhere in the middle of that or muddy the waters just enough, the defense only has to get one juror.
Yeah, that's why I'm excited to go over the forensics and all that stuff.
You know, Mo, Dr. B and I were talking about this, and I don't think that they're planted evidence by who, though. They're not, they can't be arguing that the police planted evidence, and I'll tell you why. Because at the very beginning, when they started admitting stuff into evidence, things that were collected from the crime scene, like the barrel, the trash can, the tarp, all of those things, the defense had no objection on, and they all agreed that those items were collected correctly, and they were collected by the police. The chain of custody was intact, all of those things so they can't be arguing that the police planted it. The only thing that they can do is prove that somebody else planted it, and that's
Maybe
that.
it's the brother. Maybe it's the brother. He's got diabetes or whatever, and he's not getting any of the attention. Chandler's getting all the attention with his toe, and he's just fed up with it.
I mean, the truth of the matter is that both brothers were the beneficiaries of the life insurance policies, should anything happen to both of the parents at the same time. But Mo, what I'm saying is that he could tell his lawyers whatever he wanted to tell his lawyers, but they obviously didn't believe that, and nor do they intend to bring that up as their defense, because they agreed with the evidence and the chain of custody. The only way that you can, they all agreed to it, and that probably took place in the very beginning with the evidentiary hearings. So what I'm saying to you is, I think that if he said that he was set up, he never said he was set up by the cops. It had to be some unknown third person, either his brother, the girlfriend, but somebody else, not the lawyers, is what I'm saying, which why the term plant evidence is always, and it's ambiguous if you're, unless you're specific, because most people think of planting evidence as it being pertaining to the cop. But as far as questioning the animals, what's funny about that? I feel like if my animals were questioned, I don't think they'd rat me out.
Alice might.
I don't think Alice would. Honestly, I really don't.
Milo would.
I don't think Milo would rat you out. I'm telling you right now, Nestor wouldn't. He'd be like, man, my name's Paul, and that's between y'all. And Mac would be like, who? I don't know her. I don't recall. Yes, Molson man, it's just you. I'm not muted because I can hear myself out of my headphones too. I'm not, I think it might just be you, babe.
Yeah, his brother has testified. I uploaded it tonight.
Yeah, his brother testified, and we covered it the first night. And I will say this, the tension between the brothers, I couldn't see it from Chandler's side so much, but definitely the tension coming from Mitch was palpable, because when they asked everybody in the courtroom except for the people in the jury box to remove their masks, first of all, Mitchell looked, and it was a very quick glance, but when he went to describe what his brother was wearing, he spit the words out. It was anger. So yeah, see, that's me, Molson man. Like, Alice may be petty, and she may do some things to me, but she would never snitch. By the way, if you guys don't know which cat Alice is, if you look at the Christmas Eve live,
she's the thug under the tree.
Correct. That's Alice. She's the thug in the Santa hat. But yeah, you definitely should check it out, Molson man. It's interesting. But I also found it interesting with respect to, yes, Max, we were just talking about that, babe, that the trial's put off until January 18th. I'm telling you right now, my kids would rat me out in a second. No, they probably wouldn't. I mean, they'd try everything they could not to rat me out, but they'd probably end up
My
accidentally
kid
leaking. I'm
would.
just saying. I'm just
Every time
saying.
Dad comes home, Dad, Mom wouldn't let me have this. We're not getting it tomorrow either, you little brat.
Yeah. I don't think that I don't think planting the evidence is the defense that they're going with. I think what they intend to do is say that the prosecution has failed at saying that Chandler did all the things. Chandler's the one that disposed of the bodies, yada, 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 all that. She is, that's the one. I don't get bad vibes on Mitchell either. What I will say is this, the vibe I get from Mitchell's testimony and other people's testimony with respect to the Halderson home as they perceived it is that those boys were loved. Maybe it wasn't from the dad as demonstratively as it was from their mother. And Mitchell's the one that called her a helicopter parent, you know, and she probably was.
They give me like those old school vibes, you know, where
Yeah.
like the father
Salt
was.
Like salt of the
worker.
earth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she was a stay-at-home mom for a long time with them when they were little or younger, because that's what Mitchell said. I just feel like I don't think that Mitchell had anything to do with it. But
No,
what
I
I'm
don't
saying,
either. I was just
yeah,
saying it as
yeah,
like
but I'm saying
what
that's
if.
likely what they would do. I don't think that the defense is gonna pull Mitchell or hold Mitchell up to be a potential suspect, but I do think they're gonna put that sister up there, or sister, the girlfriend.
Fiance.
No, Chandler's ex.
Oh, her.
I think
Yeah.
that's who they're
That's it.
going to use. She's going to end up being the scapegoat. And that's the truth. I think that's what they're going, and all they have to do is get one juror to believe it. That's it.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. I know everybody that's caught up on the trial is all totally bummed out that it's delayed, but I'm just
For those
like, yeah.
procrastinators like us.
Yeah. Now I can take my time.
Yes. Yeah. Well, because I really want to really listen and be focused on the forensics, because in truth, that's really what the case rests on. It doesn't really matter that much, other than, I mean, the witnesses that they've put on so far, that have testified, other than obviously officers, right? But the people in their lives, they all pretty much testified to the same thing, and they all pretty much, you know, basically said that Chandler's story was absolute bullshit because, or sorry, well, too late now, was absolute crap because of the fact that he said that they packed a ton of liquor and they were going gambling, which was out of character. What's tomorrow? Wednesday? How about Friday or Saturday? Because I know the forensics is going to be a lot. It's probably going to take us a couple of nights to get through it all. So I'm going to shoot for Saturday. That for sure. Because I have a lot of stuff that I've researched, obviously, because I had to refresh my memory, but there's new things that have come out. And so I want to include that. And I got a ton of interviews and stuff to edit and for you guys to put it all together. So how about Saturday? Does Saturday work for you, Molson Man, or you got a hot date or whatever? If you do with your wife, I'll push it back if you need me to. Just let me know. But I'm thinking Saturday because I definitely want to pay attention to this forensics.
Yeah, the forensics is going to take a while, just explaining to me all the terminology.
Yeah. I mean, I have to understand it too. It's not like, Do you know how long? So when I was putting together the last live that I did on the West Memphis 3 about the Alford plea, you know, a lot of the filings obviously are Saturday night. Okay. How about I forgot about Scream premiering this weekend. Let's see. Maybe I'll do it Sunday then. Friday, I'll do it sometime, maybe Friday or Sunday. I don't know. We'll figure it out, Molson Man. But I definitely won't do it on Saturday when I know you have a. I don't know. I have to look it up, Momo. I'll figure it out. I'll make sure that because I that's important, and I also want you to tell me about that if you liked it or not without giving too much away. Now I'm just rambling. Good night, Allie. And you're right, Momo. The fireplace window footage was interesting and how much. Thanks for coming, babe. Sweet dreams. Enjoy that. Enjoy Fort Kickass. But yeah. Nobody wants. He won't get a second one. Coolest reviews. So yeah. Either Friday or Sunday, I'll do it. How about that? Depends on how long. Probably Sunday, because I think the forensics is going to be a lot. I anticipate it to be a lot. But anyway, when I was putting together that explanation of the Alford plea, a lot of the filings they are, you know, pretty straightforward. But there are other parts of the filings that are not so straightforward that do have legal terms in them. I had to look those up. And it's not like I could just look them up and be, oh, okay. Well, thanks for telling me the ending there, Mo. Anyway, I had to look them up, and it's not like you can just Google that and be like, oh, I get it. You know what I mean? I had to read it a few times before I understood all of it. So, yeah. So with the medical stuff and the DNA stuff, I'll probably have to look it up too, babe. Just curious. Yes, coolest reviews. It's because you don't be bringing your date to Jen's lives. Unless they're like a super, I don't even know. Like they like true crime and they want to hear some chick ramble on and not really ever come to a point for the last 10 minutes. Because I get distracted by chat. Shouldn't be looking if I can't handle it. But anyway, I guess that's it, guys, for tonight. Good night, Callie. I want to thank everybody for coming. Thank you to the mods. Thanks to everyone who became members. Lupe, thank you so much. Dan K, thank you so much for your super chat. I'm so glad y'all joined me when you guys could have been other places. And I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Thank you, Shamita, for coming up here, my juror number 3. Hopefully we can get Dr. B to come up here next time. Well, not tomorrow. Well, no, tomorrow's Wednesday. Thursday's the long day, I think. Anyway.
I think they're all long days lately.
Yeah, she's been really busy lately. But anyway, I probably would have figured it out. Just teasing you, Mo. Thank you, Anaphylaxis. Thank you for becoming a member. Welcome. Thank you so much. Oh, you're right, Molson Man. The Rudes. We're broke up, Mo. I'm breaking up with you. So, yeah. I guess thank you to everybody. Let's all go to bed. I'm rambling and it means it's time for me to go Mimi's. All right. Good night, everybody. I'll see y'all tomorrow night. Thanks again, Shamita, for being up here. And thanks to the mods. And thanks to everybody for watching and becoming a member. All right. For reals, now I'm out. Bye.
Bye.